Welcome to Community Forum. My name is John Gogliettino. I'm your host. We're having a change of gears here. We're going to be talking to a group that's close to my heart, the Kiwanis Club of Danbury. I'm a member of that group. We're going to be talking about our flag program. With me today is Dinesh. I don't have your name, spelling of your name, Nabisha?
Rajagopalan.
Yeah, okay. And then also Linda Thomas. She's the chair of the project. There's a lot of involved with this flag program, the Kiwanis Flags of Valor. And we're talking about the program that's in New Milford. Okay, so welcome to the show.
Oh.
Okay. And let's start out with a little self introduction. Talk about a little bit about yourself, whatever you want to say, and then we'll get into the project and what your role is. First of all, the little intro, so to speak, on yourself. A little bit about your background. What do you do, and how did you get involved? How long you've been involved with Kiwanis? And
Okay. Linda Thomas. I do live in New Milford, which is one of the reasons we're doing the project in New Milford. I've been a member of Kiwanis for 4 years in Danbury, but before that, I grew up as part of the Kiwanis family in New York with my father. I think he was in it since I was about 5 years old.
So he was like a 30 or 40-year veteran, right?
Yes.
So that was your inspiration?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
John, I live in New Milford as well.
Okay.
And I've been with Kiwanis for about 8 years now. Was brought in by a good friend, Bob Budnick, who was my colleague at that point. I'm in the mortgage industry, and he's a realtor.
Yeah.
And he brought me to Kiwanis. I've been with Kiwanis since then. I'm the president this year.
Yes.
My history with these clubs goes back to my early days in India. My father was a lion. I was involved in the Lions, and being in the community service has been sort of in my blood, I guess. So I'm happy to be with Kiwanis now.
Yeah, well, the Lions are a good, proud organization.
Yes.
Since you may not know what this means, Kiwanis means making happy noise.
Well aware of that.
Okay. And we make a lot of happy noise.
Yes.
How long? Kiwanis was started, about 1920? I don't recall the exact date.
We're going to celebrate 100 years in
100
January.
years, so yeah. So it's like
you're like 1914.
1914.
We started in Detroit, Michigan, by a gentleman who actually formed a business group. It's a business group, and I believe last name was Brown. And it attracted about 250 or so members who wanted to trade and do business in the area. Morphed into a community a service group,
right.
Because I guess that's what people wanted to do. And since then, it's mushroomed, but
it's business people that do community service, basically.
True.
Like the other groups in the area, except that we make happy noise.
True. but we're very community driven. We're not a networking group at all.
Tell us. Tell what the biggest difference. And I hope this is not. I hope you get this. What the biggest difference between Kiwanis and the other groups is?
Well, not to say anything about that group.
The key thing.
The key thing is the key clubs. Okay, we work with high school children for the most part. We really are behind them. We have the key clubs in each of these 6 high schools in the local area, and every year we give them scholarships, and we're involved in their projects. We're really behind them, helping them to succeed and achieve whatever they're achieving. And then we have our own product, service projects too.
Some ideas of the projects we do.
The biggest project we do is we're going to be soon, hopefully, quote unquote, going to be able to eradicate neonatal and maternal
tetanus.
Tetanus.
Yes.
Tetanus.
Okay.
That's our biggest project.
Thank you, Linda. That's the national program.
That's
international. Yes.
Right, the international. Yes. Yeah, you got to.
To say
fill in the blanks
program, that's an international, and we're working with UNICEF on it,
right.
is to eliminate neonatal tetanus, which is a painful disease that's a woman or a child is dying every 9 minutes in the world now, this painful, excruciating disease, which can be controlled or prevented with a shot, which is, I think, $1.50 each. So it's fundraising to get the shots for when someone's pregnant, to get the shot, and the baby will be immunized for at least 3 months until they can start their series of shots.
That's great. Great idea. And then we got the annual breakfast we raise the money for the scholarship.
Correct.
We ring bells for Salvation Army.
We do that. We have a toy drive. We do the Halloween on the Green in Danbury.
Right.
We also have a bulk program at the South Street School where we sort of encourage children to bring up grades, give them a little incentive to do that.
Right. Yeah, so there's a number of things, and if someone is interested, let's give our website for the first time.
Okay, it's
yeah.
www.kiwanisct.com.
Okay.
And Kiwanis is spelled Kiwanis.
Okay.
So kiwanisct.com.
Okay, very good.
And I want to say this to you: as anybody wants to visit us or come and see what we're about, we meet every Tuesday at 12:15 at Chuck's Restaurant in Danbury. It's a lunch meeting. It's for an hour and 15 minutes, and you're welcome as my guest and our guest, and to see what we're about. Have lunch with us. It's every.
And it's not just steak.
It's not just steak. It's a salad.
Chicken, we have fish.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this project, the upcoming project, where is it going to be located in New Milford?
Yes, the Flags of Valor will be in New Milford on the lawn of the Historical Society on the north end of the green. So if you're standing on the green, it's up the sloping hill. We put up 300 full-size 3-foot by 5-foot American flags, made in the USA flags, on display from November 8th to December 8th. 8th, I believe. And each flag should be sponsored and dedicated to
The 6th.
a veteran.
December
the 6th,
6th.
December 6th.
December the 6th.
Okay.
Yes.
So each flag has a yellow ribbon on it, which is dedicated to a veteran or active military, tells their story, where they've been, their rank, the years, any medals. So it's a wonderful project to not only show appreciation, but also the funding goes back to help the community in our projects.
Right. And because of our Comcast rules, we can't say what but there's 3 different sponsorships that you can do, an individual one, and
Major
and then
sponsor,
it goes
yes.
larger than that. Okay. That's in conjunction with something else, isn't it? Or no, that was another project that was done. So this is done. And how many people they usually turn out for this?
Okay, it turns out the event really spans a couple months. We start out with a fair in New Milford, where the Key Club, New Milford Key Club, goes out and passes out flyers and tells people about the flag and gets them out into the community. That starts in September. The day of November 8th, we last year I think we had about 50 people.
That's when
we
you
had.
That's
we
when you
put them
plant
in,
them.
Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, anyone walking down the street that wants to jump in and helps. The Kiwanis Club, of course, and just a lot of community members. So it really brings the community together to put up the flags.
Okay, and then a month later they come down.
A month later they come down, and we give the flags to different Boy Scouts and Girl Scout groups, and they take them to their meetings and fold them and learn flag protocol. It's been really wonderful. I work with the Girl Scouts a lot too, so I could talk about more what goes on there, but it really teaches about
Citizenship.
And not only thanking veterans, but appreciating what they've done for us, especially with girls, that they're able to go to school in this country. They're not afraid of being kidnapped like it's happened in other countries, and that they are allowed to go to school. I mean, which is the big thing. At first, when you tell kids you don't have to go to school, they cheer a little bit, but then when you talk about how they won't learn to read and write like they don't in other countries, and how they can grow up and do anything they want in this country, it really shows appreciation for our vets.
Okay, so is there any?
Said I also brought them into the classrooms too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In New Milford, the 6th grade, 5th grade, and 3rd grade classrooms were folding flags for the last 2 years too. Again, learning about citizenship.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if there was any particular examples of people that were extraordinary that you you just want to talk about in general, maybe not mention their names because you didn't ask them if they're going to mention their names on the air.
Okay.
So if you just say, yeah, there was a 5-year-old or there was a 7-year-old or whatever.
I think a lot of the stories, it's really people telling stories. And a lot of them, as you walk through the flags, people have red ribbons of people they knew, people they worked with. But this year, I know of 2 flags that are being sponsored. Again, it's Girl Scouts because I'm involved with Girl Scouts, but it's the 2 leaders that are in the camp with me. One of them just returned from Afghanistan. In fact, over the summer, we Skyped her in Afghanistan, and she's just a wonderful person who serves the community and ended up serving in Afghanistan for the last year. And another one, Eileen, she, again, is a camp leader. And last year at camp, we had a flag retirement ceremony, which very few people actually have seen, and the girls performed the ceremony, and it was a beautiful ceremony that just part, again, about being a citizen in this country. So we have those 2 veterans, and there are so many people that are just wonderful. When you think of what they've sacrificed, what their families have gone through.
Okay.
Just incredible.
That's great. And the Girl Scout ages, so just so I was thinking brownies. The Girl Scouts, they start, what, at 12 or something?
No, earlier.
Earlier,
7 or
okay.
8.
Oh, they do go down.
7 or 8, all the way up to.
Because I thought they still called them brownies, and then they're Girl Scouts at 12 until they're 18
Daisies,
or whatever.
yes.
They used to break down like
Right.
that. I'm showing my
They're
age.
still brown. No,
that's
they're
why
still
my hair is gray. They don't.
No, but just.
Talk about the entire program.
I've heard a lot of just opening up conversations with somebody found out that his grandfather was on an icebreaker. So immediately got Grandpa on the phone and started opening up a lot of conversations across generations.
Yeah, so there's a lot of growth that comes out of the
Yes.
project. Dinesh, can you tell us a little bit about the key clubs? Where they are. I can help you with a few.
Sure. You've been with Kiwanis longer than I have been.
Yeah.
So we sponsor these key clubs.
There's a key club in
New Milford, Brookfield, Danbury, Bethel, Richfield, and New Fairfield.
Yes.
Okay.
And then these clubs have anything from 50 to 80 members. They meet once a week or maybe once every other week, and they have their own projects. There's a guidance counselor that's in charge of them. And what we do is we have a Kiwanis member that's actually in charge of each of these clubs and who actually attends these meetings maybe once a month or so and is in touch with the guidance counselor. And help them with fundraising. They don't have the experience with running large projects or how to raise money. That's where we come in. And then they are involved. In
they get involved with our
projects as well.
Yeah.
Yes. And at the end of the year, they
get the
scholarships from us.
The scholarships.
And we give out at least about $6,000 worth of scholarships every year to these students.
Yes. Yeah, very good. So is there anybody of exception in the last couple of years in the Key Club of New Milford that you want to highlight, or were they all included, in that example?
You know what? They're all included. It's hard to pick anybody out, but every one of them.
But sometimes you mention since we didn't get permission, you mention a first name, and that person was very good. And
no, they have been over the years, and I don't recall any particular. But we've had some children that have, when we had the breakfast meetings, have sung the songs, and they've always been involved. They have some talent.
Yes, talented, and just like you said, everyone has a strength, and you could see in the Key Club how they work together with their strengths. And even we have another program, the Key Leader program, where we had 170 students from surrounding towns in our Key Clubs and other members of the school. And these kids are the leaders. They're the leaders right now. They're the leaders of our future. And so they stand out. They stand out in different ways.
Yes.
And we didn't come up with the name Key Club just recently. That's been around for years and years and years.
Yes.
Key Club, the key people.
Exactly.
Yes.
And they actually live being part of a club that makes a difference.
Right.
So that's what I was trying to get at, is that they are making a difference every day
Yes.
in their communities, in their way, as students, you know.
And we also we have a student forum, key leader forum that we've done over the years. Although this year we didn't do
Right.
the one because of the dates were conflicting.
Yeah.
But last year we had a number of students. We had speakers come in, flown in, Kiwanis from the Kiwanis International. And we talked. We had a whole day of seminars in WestCon, and was attended by about 200 students or so from the various clubs.
Okay. The Kiwanis, they come from the area in general. In other words, you're from New Milford. There's people I know from New Fairfield. There's people, right? All the area towns are involved. And how is that? Does that contribute to the strength? Does we try to focus in on problems? I know the answer, but I'm just throwing that out there, trying to get it out
We
there.
focus on the communities, local communities.
So we try to do
Yes.
something when we can for every community
For every
that we're
community.
in.
And in fact, we had recently in our meeting the new head in charge of the Danbury Library, and he was going to join us. But we get people from the local community to come and speak before us and find out how we can be involved through them.
Okay, and so that contributes. That's where the projects come from.
Yes.
So you might want to mention the website once again, slowly, so they can
Slower.
write it down.
Okay, www.kiwanisct.com.
Okay.
And Chuck's Steakhouse, Danbury, 12:15 Tuesdays. That's the first 3 Tuesdays of the month.
Right.
Yes.
Now, do you have a telephone number? You want to mention your telephone number? Or no, you can't have Kiwanis calls.
Put me on the spot. I'm not good with numbers.
Okay, you don't know your number. Okay.
I know my number.
All right. Well, it was just an idea. Okay.
Yeah.
And again, this event is going to be December 6th. This comes to an end. It goes from starting just now.
November.
November
Right.
the 8th is when you're putting them up, and then you're taking them down on December the 6th. But when so we're going to have this on the Comcast wheel, as they call it.
Okay.
The flag of valor, but we're going to try to have some other information out there on this, and this will actually run until November the 8th or the day before. When does that get cut off?
We'd like to have them done beforehand, but we can still put them up as long as the flags are up.
Okay, so. Yeah, so in other words, somebody wants to be a sponsor or whatever, and there's information that's on the website, and we can respond to emails there
Right,
also?
I can respond to emails. You
Okay,
can also
so-
mail information in, and just get the history about somebody, what their story is.
Okay. And that's anybody in the area, basically. That's
Anybody in the area, or they don't have to be in the area.
and this doesn't matter what war they fought in. It might still be a couple of World War II people still out there.
There are World War II, definitely.
Yeah.
And no, it doesn't matter if they were in a specific war, as long as
Can be an active serviceman
Yeah,
too.
active or-
Anybody. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We had somebody that their son was going into the Marines a week after we put this up, and we had a flag up for him because he's active.
And I know we're not talking prices here, but for a cost of a couple of movie tickets, you can actually sponsor, a flag and have a ribbon. So
Yeah.
And
yes.
when the
Well, let's
when the
not,
dis-
let's not
yeah.
get too close.
when the display comes down,
Yeah.
you could either get just the ribbon with the
Yes.
information on it, or you can have the flag and the ribbon together, which makes a great gift. And another story was somebody put one up for her brother-in-law who served in Vietnam and presented him the flag as a Christmas gift. And he cried because he said no one even acknowledged that he was in Vietnam and he was there, and now we had a flag keepsake, which was very moving for him and his family.
I have a story too. There was a gentleman that's a member of the Knights of Columbus, and he is a couple of years ago. I remember I got a flag, and I gave him a flag, and he had the same thing. He had tears in his eyes because his flag had gotten worn out. He didn't have money. He was waiting for when he had some extra money to replace the flag. I didn't tell him I was doing that. I brought him the flag, and he was teary-eyed
That's
that
nice.
I thought of him and brought him the flag. So you can do a number of things like that for
Yes.
veterans in your neighborhood. That he fought in World War II, he fought in Korea, and a lot of times you see them up until they're really ailing. and they don't go out, they're usually the first ones online at the Memorial Day, parade,
Right, and I usually get 4 flags a year, and every year, sponsor them for different people. And this morning, I just ran into the third person because I just happened to be talking to someone, and she told me her son joined the Marines and was, now I forgot where he is right now. But so, I've already figured out who my third flag is now. So it's kind of exciting for me to find out who in my community, who do I run into that's been is active at this time.
So your notoriety level has gone up. People know who you are.
Right.
They see me
that's
coming,
the flag.
yes.
That's the flag lady.
Yes,
Or
she's
the
certainly
scout.
our flag lady.
Yeah.
The number of people that actually stop by and when the flags are up, it's such a nice thing. They stop, get out of the car, walk around, and they're appreciating it.
There's always somebody walking
Yes.
around in the flags and taking pictures.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful sight.
Okay, so let's do a repeat of the information again. I think we still got a few more minutes left. So they can go to our website. Let's give the website one more time.
Linda.
Okay, and slowly.
www.kiwanisct.com.
Okay.
And maybe you want to spell
So-
Kiwanis.
Kiwanis one more
Yes.
time.
Yes.
I know it's a
spell,
test.
yeah.
Yeah.
KIWANISCT.com.
Okay. So they can go there right up until the day that November the 8th, or even
Right,
during
and even after
even
that,
during
just to
that
email
period.
me.
Yeah. Oh, even during that period. And then, so it goes from November the 8th. They're going to be in the ground, flying on that. Where is that field?
Right at the north end of the green at the
north end-
Historical Society.
The north end of the green, at the New Milford Historical Society. Okay, good thing I got my glasses on. and then it ends December the 6th.
Right.
Okay.
And the form that you're holding is
Right. This is on the website.
It's on the website, and
Okay.
it's in places in town too.
Yeah. Oh, you can, like the library.
The library, taped up in some windows,
Okay.
local
Is there any other
businesses.
place? Is it the Chamber of Commerce? Just want
Yes,
to mention
Chamber
a few.
of Commerce. It's also there, and just in local businesses. If they have a place for forms, we've dropped them off.
So I just got the high sign. We got another 4 minutes. Let's talk a little more about other things that Kiwanis does and the Key Club does. Or some examples of, we sponsored this Key Club, and this person went on and became, whatever you can think.
Sure, I'll try to
Yeah.
think of some events. New Milford does this an event called Stuff the Cruiser. It's what it does is in front of Walmart. Probably in November or so, they have an event where they gather around and stuff a police car with all kinds of toys, and that goes to the police
That's a good
department.
idea.
Yes, and they stand around and encourage people to go buy an extra toy when they go into Walmart. And it'd be surprising that most people come back with a toy, and that's been a very successful project for them.
And any examples of the other? Can you think of the other clubs? Or
I think New Milford also did the Invent the Dress. I did that with you
Yeah.
too, where they recycled prom dresses
oh, that's
for
right.
for girls, and I think they might have had the suits for the boys too to wear to the proms.
Yeah,
And they do a lot of community service.
A lot of that, yes.
They
Yes.
join in where help is needed.
Yes, that dress, instead of buying a dress, you can recycle.
You can recycle, and
Yeah.
you can donate whatever money you can to get
Yeah.
a dress for the prom.
Okay, that's another great idea.
Yes, and the school's Danbury is a very active Key Club.
They're doing
There's a
stuff
number
all the
of
time. But
projects.
They're always-
they
yeah.
help at
Bethel.
ringing the bells, and
Yes.
they
Yes.
they've participated
Yes.
in a number of things that we've done over the years.
Absolutely, yeah.
Since I've done so much with the Salvation Army, I just remember that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But they've come to
They've always
our
been around.
meetings, and they talked about what they're up to, and sometimes a long list of little things, but that keeps the group active
Right.
and out of trouble.
Yes.
So that's another thing about the Key Club. It keeps the people out of
Absolutely. Yes.
trouble and doing the good things that the
Yes.
community needs.
Yes.
So they're all they'll all be commended for the work that they do.
Right.
Can't think of anything
And I was
else.
going to say, I think the Kiwanis, and you can speak more to this, is more about, we do a lot of community service, and we have a lot of fun while we're doing it too, especially when we do it in groups. And Dinesh being president this year is really focusing.
Yes, yes. The family aspect of Kiwanis is, something. We are a large family.
Yeah, the large Christmas party that we do.
Yes.
We didn't mention that before.
Yes, our motto is, what we hang our hats upon is are the three principles: fun, fellowship, and service. And you can add family to that. You can make it fun, fellowship, service, and family. And that's really what we're about. And if we do that, I'm sure we're going to attract more and more people to us.
We got an annual picnic that we do.
Yes.
We've got the Christmas party we mentioned. We've got
leadership forums for the children.
Right.
Yes.
And there's stuff always for the members to enhance themselves and go to the conventions that they have annually. And I think we're down to like a summary again. Let's give one more time. We're chicken about giving out a telephone number, so so let's do the website again and spell out the name again.
Spell it out again.
Yes.
www.kiwanisct.com, and Kiwanis is KIWANISCT.com.
Okay. Have you thought of anything else you might have mentioned in the last half a minute we got or so?
I look forward to seeing more people on the New Milford Greens and see what we're about. And look for us on the Danbury Greens on Halloween weekend.
Oh, God. Yeah, the Halloween on the Green.
Halloween on the Green coming up soon, and you'll have a big event that the town is sponsoring there. And I forget which Saturday is that. I'm sorry.
November 1st.
November 1st. Yeah, that's going to be then.
Okay,
yeah.
so that'll be a nice event.
That'll be a big event.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
All right. So anyway, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Okay, thank you.
Pleasure, John. Thank you for
You're
having
welcome.
me and having us. Yeah.
And I want to thank the viewers for tuning in to the Community Forum. Tune in next week, same time, same station. Good night.